Oh, right, so we've got to get the old drive band out, which I haven't quite worked out how to do because this belt is really close to there, but I think there's a tensioner somewhere that allows you to move the belts, but I can't see it. Maybe I'm thinking it's the top one. No, it's the top one. Should be one down here. I would have thought there was one. I suspect that's it there, actually. Which means that bolts. There's a plastic cap on it. Yeah, so I've got to try and get that out of the way. Now this assembly does rock backwards and forwards, so it allows you to center the belts. And normally there's some kind of there's something on there actually. I might be able to do it from this side. Looking at that, so I can rock that up, which will give me the room to get this out from underneath, because I don't think it's going to go. That's not going to work anyway. I've got to get the band off, haven't I? Right, so we've got to get the band off. So first things first, then let's get the band off. What did I do with that big screwdriver? The big screwdriver. I have to do because I can't find the big screwdriver. I had the big screwdriver last week. Oh, it's there on the floor. So, might as well show you what I'm doing. There's a tensioner here that allows you to take the tension off the band. So this band now is really floppy. So what we can do is we can take the band out, get the band off, same down here, and get that out of the way. And that will now allow us to get should allow us to get this band off here if the band is smaller than the wheel, which I don't think it is. So I think we've got to take the band off, we've got to take this wheel off. I've never actually done this before, so it's all a bit of a voyage of discovery for us all. Right, that looks like there's some kind of a split pin in there. Bear with me. It's not the easiest thing to see in here. You are slightly in the way, so I'm just going to move you over out of the way a bit while I'm here. Well, you knew that was going to happen, but it's here. So just drop that out of the way, and hopefully this should just come off. Oh, it wouldn't be that easy, would it? Right, I need a persuader. I might need a puller. We might need a puller for this. I'm just going to give that a little bit of a shock and it might come off. Or sometimes if you put pressure on it, nope. So how are you supposed to get that off if that is bigger than that? The good news is I think I've got the right belt. It's just very, 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 very fiddly. No, that's the belt is too small to get off there. So the only way that belt's coming off is if this comes out. And I do not know how to get this out. So you would have thought it would have just come off. So potentially we could put a puller on it. Or we're looking at taking the whole back of it off. Nope. Nope. I suspect the answer lies out here. It just seems slightly odd. That's definitely a plastic. Feels plastic anyway. Maybe it's not. Let's go and get some spanners. Spatter 15. Not a 20. I think they're a 17. I had to put money on it, I'd say a 17. Oh no, not in here. Right. 19 or 20 then, what do we think? 19, 19, 19. We'll go with that. Yep, I think that was the way to go. Ooh, that was nearly fingers off time. I just had my fingers sticking through and that's just spun round. Right then, so let's get this mess off. Can you see what I'm up to? So we'll try and untangle what's left of the original drive belt. I wasn't sure, I wasn't convinced with that drive belt when it came whether we'd got the right one, but looking at this, it does look like it's the right one. It's just really perished. I mean, that looks white. And it's really brittle too. I mean, look at that. Very strange. You know, it's gone white. I don't know why. Let's just check everything else is looking good. I wonder whether they could. No, you can't feed it through there. That wouldn't help you anyway, because you've still got to get past the drive shaft. So you would have still been flummoxed. Yeah, I think this is the only way to do it. Is to take this off. So while we've got this out, we'll put the split pin back in. I've been in here 2 minutes. I'm absolutely covered in sawdust. So we'll put that back in now. We don't need that out. That's it, job's a good one. Right, just need to stick the new drive belt on, which under close inspection we think is the right one now. I didn't end up getting this from Axminster, I got it from somewhere else. I got it from drivebands.co.uk. Yeah, it looks about the same size. Doesn't really matter, probably anything within an inch would do, because there's so much play on the thing that I can't remember what we were set up on actually. I suspect we were on the slower one, because most of the cutting we did was in wood, so you'd have it on the slower setting for wood. So that's small on there, big on there, and it's still going to go down there as well, so that needs to be brought across. So that's the adjuster. I'm just moving that so the bands, because on this one the adjuster pushes backwards, it doesn't pull in. Don't really know why, to be honest. That's quite a so I'm wondering whether this was set up right from the beginning, because I think this was possibly pulling in. Come on, round you go. We all on? Are we in the right place? Are we in the right number of grooves? Oh, looks okay. That's still too tight. That's a bit worrying. See, now the instructions definitely say that pulls outwards. But let's get these bolts back on first. You can always adjust it later. So the moment I'm trying to adjust it, and it's actually just pulling this back out the frame. Quite pleased how easily they came off. Let's see if that's made that any better. Oh, that's spinning nicely now. Just slightly catching on the wheel, but when we put the tension on it, it will put a bit more pressure on that. Oh, that's too tight. That feels good. Right, let's get this band back on. Bandsaws are the most fiddly thing in the universe. Everybody knows it. It's a well-known fact. They're a right raw pain up the bum. And then we're gonna have to track this again probably, but right, so I'll just shut it up. We'll give it a couple of spins round first. It won't actually run with the doors open. It has a safety. Well, the top ones have. Oh yeah, they do. They have a safety trip, so that as if the door opens, it shuts. Bandsaws are actually quite safe things. They look grievous, but there's not a lot of power to them, and you don't get things like kickback that you get because it's not a spinning blade that can push something back into you or pull something into it. So they're actually relatively safe. If you're stupid enough to put your fingers in the blade, you're going to get cut. But with a table saw, you could have your hands, you know, a good couple of inches out the way of the blade and still end up with your hand in the blade because it's kicked or jumped. You just don't get that with a bandsaw. Right, where can I put you? Put your legs back down. Oh, hello. Give you a little cuddle. I thought you stood on there last time. Hello again. Right, let's leave you on there. Right, so there's a whole load of faffing you can do with these. But basically all you're bothered about is the tracking of the blade on there. The blade should be, the spiky bits of the blade should be just off the edge of the wheel. So and the blade doesn't want to move backwards and forwards. So you run it for a little bit. We'll put that back where it's supposed to be because I think that's pressing on the blade a bit as well. You want the fact that you want that clay. If you see there's a bit of movement in that, you normally get it so it's just the back brace is just resting on it. But I'm going to move it out of the way so the blade can track backwards and forwards. Right, now what you do is you open up the box again and you see where we are. You see where it's tracking, and it doesn't look that bad actually. Let's have a look what it's like up on here. So if I tip, oh no, it's miles off. You can't really see what I'm doing, I really don't want to move you again. Put all the legs out. So apologies for the fact you're bouncing around like a good one. Now we all sorted. Right, so if you can see the blade's miles back there, so it needs to come forwards. So I'm just going to adjust this now so that it starts to track forwards. So it's starting to come now. So So if you can see, the blades now appear, so the blades are just off the edge, the blade's pretty much centred. Probably turn it back a little bit. Right, that looks okay. Now check the tension again, so that's important. It's the best way to check the tension is to wind that up out of the way. There's quite a bit of movement on that, so we want that tighter. There is actually a defined amount of push on you have on this, but to be honest, it's going soon, so I'm not that bothered. Right, see, that's now started to track back the other way. So I was when you put the tension on, the sheer force that you're putting on there causes that to canter over a bit more, which is what you do when you're adjusting it anyway. So what I found when I was spinning it then was it had actually started to go off the end again. Not there you go, it's done it again. So we'll just turn that back so we get it where we want it, and then turn it back a little bit just to hold it still, and that's going now. So and that's nice and tight. So we can put that down where it's supposed to be. On that one. Seems okay. Find a little scrap of wood. Yep. Yep, pay attention to what you're doing. This wasn't in the channel properly, and the wood caught on the front of that, rocked forwards into the blade. I'm not sure what's up with that. I suspect that wood's bowed over time. But it's got a knock while it's down, and the wood slid in there, so that's flush now. Reasonable cut. Now the blade is tracking a little bit, probably wants turning up a bit more. So the blade, as I'm cutting it through, the blade's moving out of the way, which probably wants this adjusting as well, actually, looking at this. So these wheels and things here are supposed to pinch this in place, but I'm not sure why, but it's not going all the way back. So I suspect that's not helping a great deal. Try it again. That's a bit better. Right, anyway, that's fixed. First job off the list. I wasn't even going to use that either. Should have used that last time. This here and stop you. These tripod legs are massive. Massive.